I'm Zoom right now. A good friend of mine at the stations of music, of reggae music. I'm gonna say international, all kind of music. My man Shaggy, what's happening, man? How you feel?
It's called global, not local.
Global, international. Shaggy, there's no place you haven't touched on this planet, Shaggy. Come on,
Yeah.
what's the furthest place you've been out besides outer space?
I know I gotta claim something because everybody claiming something. Somebody claiming that they're king of the dance hall.
Yeah.
Shaba say he's emperor. You know what I mean? Cartel say he world boss. You know what am I? Global boss? I don't know what kind of. I don't know what to claim. I don't have no claims.
Global boss, global boss. Passports. I don't know how many stamps you went through, how many books you've been through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Shaggy,
man, it is. It is. Yeah, no, we've traveled everywhere, man. We about to start going back on tour around June 19th is when I start back, I think.
hey
And we
Shaggy,
start.
do you remember the first time you left the country and went out of the country and how that felt? The first time you left the states and you went someplace else to perform. When was that?
Um, I mean, I used to go to perform as far as like, when I got like my early records like Big Up and Mump and all Virgin.
Right, right.
I was doing those, like Caribbean. I went to like Trinidad and in St. Lucia and places like those. But the real first time I went on tour, Max Surprise took me on tour. I was doing backgrounds and all of that. And
Right.
I went to Brazil and I did a thing called Rock in Rio. It was
Rock
about
and Rio.
70,000 people. And it was um, Simply Red was on the bill, Nirvana was on the bill, Aerosmith was on the bill, Maxi, and I remember 70,000 people singing Wild World and Close to You with Maxi. And I said to myself, but hold up, I've been in a dance hall in Brooklyn. I ain't never heard a Maxi Priest being played. And, it was like a light bulb off my head. I'm like, oh, this is what I want. And that I came back and I just started changing up my style of how I wanted it because that was like an eye opener, just to see how globally he was. And nobody was giving him that love. And of course, later on in the year, I found out there's a lot of people that happened to because even the great Bob Marley,
Right,
they wasn't giving him that kind of love because it was like all these watered down music because he was doing a hybrid music that was
right.
appealing to a global audience. But locally, they were still on like, Dennis Brown and, a couple other guys that weren't as global. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, how important was it for you to be a student of the game and to learn?
Oh,
I think
Maxie
a lot of
taught me
people.
everything. Maxie taught me how to do interviews. I used to do interviews like, yeah, man, Bridget, yeah, man, everything I go on, yeah, what they are saying on MTV and what they are around, and Maxie laughed and I know you're trying, I know you're trying to keep it real, but if you keep doing that, you're gonna be keeping it real broke.
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah, it's like it's like it doesn't make sense. You have this great platform that reaches a global audience, and you speak into where they can't understand you. You're kind of defeating the purpose.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Maxie was definitely my teacher, and I got criticized for years because I spoke the Queen's English when I did interviews. They're like, "Yo, you're selling out the culture." And not rah, rah, rah. I'm like, dude, I lived in Brooklyn. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I might be from Jamaica, but I live in Flatbush, son. I don't know what you want to talk about.
Man.
Shaggy, what keep that fire burning, man, for you to do this music?
My haters.
You still got
My
those?
Oh my God, bro. You would not believe. First of all, this new generation wants to rewrite the narrative. The new generation, they all think that they invent everything.
Mm.
And I'm a fan of the new generation because I think they are the future. But I knew that when I came into music, I was excited about my heroes. Like I remember the first day I met Dennis Brown. I remember the first day I laid eyes and was talking to Barrington Levy. I was like
Wow.
a kid in a candy store looking. I was like, oh my God, I'm in front of my heroes. You know what I mean? And I acknowledge what they have done so that I could be here. Yellow Man, these people. these kids, and it kind of went to a way because I remember at one point there was a beef between Yellow Man and Beanie Man over who's king of
Yeah.
the dance. So, and I was like, that's not a fight I would even take up. It's Yellow
Uh,
Man, like why? Why would I do that? You know what I mean?
where do you think that disconnect came from? Because you see a lot of the younger artists disrespecting the older artists. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that been here before. Like you said, you came up
Right.
wanting to, impress your heroes, the people you seen. Now it seems like it's a clash. Where do you think that went bad?
I don't think I'll go as far as say it's a clash. I do think some of the elders be thinking that some of them elders be doing too much. When they see some of these kids doing really well, they might have come to a time when music didn't make money, and a lot of them squander their money, and they're in
Yeah.
bad places, and a lot of it is jealousy of some of these young
Mm.
kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's some of these kids, some of them, it's really about the fact that they're living in a now time, with the device. You know what I mean? It's a now thing, So back in the days, we would get an album and there would be credits on the back, and you wanted to know what studio it was at,
Yeah.
who the musician, who's that. You know what I mean? Nowadays, nobody cares who the guy behind the scene is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
We're
Um,
missing that.
yeah, we're missing that. So there is no history. Like most of these kids, like they'll put on there, oh yeah, we're the first. I'm like, we're the first to sell a Coliseum, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I've been doing Coliseums forever. That's why I get into arguments with the reggaeton people or the Afrobeat guys because they're like, oh, what are you talking about? We did this. I'm like, dude, I was playing stadiums when you were just a nut.
Yeah. And you not even basically here, and you're on
You know what I'm
tour.
saying? In Africa, in your country. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, reggaeton. We talk about El General and these guys. I'm
Oh
not telling you
man.
from a hearsay. I was there.
Yeah.
I know how it started. You know what I'm saying? I remember. I tell people. I said Jay. I remember Jay and them used to come to Rocket Studios, and when we was at Bentley and him and Dame and you
Right.
know and dancehall and reggae and Shaba and Supercat, and we was the big artists in Brooklyn. What are you talking about? I
It was
was
big.
there. I'm
Yeah.
not telling you on some, oh well, somebody told me this or hearsay. I was there. 30 years of doing 33 years of doing it. I was there.
Nothing against the new school, but to be able to say that I was there does make a difference.
It does make a difference, but what I'm saying to you is a lot of them, if it wasn't on Instagram or TikTok, it didn't happen. And,
Yeah.
Mm.
and I'm sorry, I can't accept that. You know what I mean? I can't accept people who
It's some
downplay people who
it's
have
some
put the
people who
work.
think because things changed with streaming and all that stuff, they feel like this is what matters. It's like what happened in the past. This is a new time. You know what I'm saying? So some people try to forget what came before it.
I get that, and I like the whole streaming thing. We have way more access, but there were a lot of people who did work to give you the access. You think
Yeah.
anybody was looking at dancehall and reggae before I broke that ceiling? Like seriously,
Outside
I
of
was-
Jamaica. Yeah.
globally, yeah, outside of the little markets. Come on, I
Yeah.
mean, look what Sean did. Yeah, I see people sit down there and put up some little videos talking about Sean Paul. I'm like, you are not even in. You should,
Same room. The same
you should,
building.
yeah, to have a conversation about Sean Paul. Like,
No.
like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that you'll see people having platforms. When you look at them, they've not accomplished a goddamn thing in life. So, what gives you the right to even have a conversation about me? So for
Yeah.
me, back to your original question, what's giving me the fire? That's the fire. And because I'm not a social media guy and I can't go back, control them and cuss them out and I can't do a 50.
No.
So
No,
the
you can't do
only
that.
so the only thing I could do is is be because half of these people are talking, even the artists that run up, they can't make a record. That's why every record hits a ceiling.
Yeah.
you know. So the only way that I could get back at them is to make is with my craft.
Do what you
That's
do.
my only weapon. I'm just going to do it better than you, work harder than you know what I'm saying, and win.
It's
And
funny
there's no better revenge than winning while somebody's on the sideline hating.
watching. It's funny you say what you say. I was there. I was there. And for you to say I was there back then, and to say I'm here right now says a lot. I was
Yeah.
there, and I'm still here making these
And I'm
records.
still your guy that you're competing
Still
with. You
here.
could be running your mouth somewhere.
That's
I'm still the
crazy.
top three streaming guy. It's me, Sean, and Bob. Sorry. You know, you could
Yeah.
they could run their mouth and talk. They still ain't moved us.
What's the process? New album in the streets right now, Lottery. What's the process of putting an album together? Because you're always on tour, you're always doing shows. Where do you find time to get these ideas down in the studio? Because you're always moving, Shaggy. Every time I see you, you're here, you're there. You're with Sting, you're there. How do you put an album
The thing
together?
about it, Buck, I'm not trying to follow people. I've never done that. When No Carolina came out, there was nothing that sounded like it. When Bombastic came out, nothing that sounded. Even the other day, we came with Godonde. Nothing sounded like it.
Yep.
I'm not a trend follower. If you're buying my album to listen to some sort of a trend, you're gonna be disappointed, right? I'm not doing Afrobeat. I'm not doing trap. I'm not doing none of that. I am doing 100% unapologetically Shaggy. There are
Yep.
three types of music. There's dancehall music, there's reggae music, and there's Shaggy music, right? What I'm giving you is a 2026 version of Shaggy, but I'm gonna make it so relatable that even the youngins could be like, "Yo, he snapped on that,"
Yeah.
and
Mm.
that's all I'm doing. You know
Tell
what
me
I mean?
about the Lottery, man. You got one of my favorite songs on Lottery is the Bun record, man. That
Yeah,
that record there. Whew. I love that record.
it's a dope record. That record I got. So on the front of it, you hear an interview with Major Mackerel talking about, it's an interview I was watching where he was talking about how he got cheated on,
Right.
and he did it so funny because bun is actually a pastry, so he said he got the whole bakery, you know. Todd planting tutti frutti, I mean, he's got Easter because Bun is like an Easter bunny. He says he's got Easter every day. That means simply means he was saying that this chick was cheating on him like multiple times. You know what I'm saying? With this dude. And he says, "Oh yeah, it's good, but this guy oral, which is orally, this guy when that guy oral stepped in, I couldn't compete because, I guess that guy was doing oral and he wasn't." So
Jamaicans say they don't do oral,
yeah,
man. They
yeah,
say
yeah. So they say, But anyway, but the interview that he did was funny, but you could see there was a lot of hurt behind it, and it inspired me, and then I just started to write it from the male perspective
no,
because
heartbreak
we've
is
always heard it from the female perspective. You know what I mean? So now you're gonna hear from a male, and it's almost taboo in a way that you don't touch it because how dare you say that about a woman?
yeah,
But
heartbreak.
I hit them up and say, well, a woman is better than a man at everything.
Man,
So now you got Jeremiah, Akon, Robin Thicke, Sting. You got all of these people on your album. How do you go about picking your features?
The thing is, if you check out all of my discography, all of my albums, I never normally use big names. I did Wasn't Me with an unknown artist named Rick Rock.
yeah,
And that nigga's still unknown. You know, I did an unknown artist by the name of Rayvon at the time. I did recently with Banana. I did an unknown artist by the name of Conqueror. I've always looked for like local or record art. This time around, in presenting something that is different, I say, let me rock. And Sean has done it successfully. That's kind of his MO.
mm-hmm.
So I had to think really long and hard if I wanted to step into that lane because it's really his thing in a way. Um, but as I was doing, I started to think about it. I said, man, I've done 30 years of this shit. I kind of earned the right to actually get some help if I need
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
probably nobody you couldn't call.
Yeah, so I just holler at these people who I've had their numbers in my contacts, because I did a tour with Jeremiah and him and I hung out. I did a show with me and Robin Thicke and Clef, and we had a great time. I just went in my phone and just called them, and there was, thank God, enough mutual respect for them,
Yeah.
and admiration for what I did, that they were like, yeah, man, send it over. I'm down. Akon came to my house. He flew in for that one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so, and Con and I have been friends for years, so, it wasn't really hard. The collab part of it wasn't hard because these are guys that, we just have mutual respect for each other in the game,
Now,
And God bless, none of them charged me. Not one.
none of them charge you?
Not one.
That's
Wow.
that's major respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody just came and I was like, yo, you know, I even Dexter Naps I went out. I said, yeah, let me know what I gotta pay you for this. And he's like, nah, I could never. You know what I'm
Could
saying?
never.
Robin was like, nah, we good. You know,
You and Robin got a big record on the radio right now, man.
yeah, lovely. Oh man, what a guy. I mean, what a guy to work with. I mean, I've been hitting the promotional scene with him, and this guy is gracious to every single person. He showed up for the video by himself, shot it
Wow.
on time. He comes in, he rolls just by himself most of the time. I was very surprised at that. He's just like, like I don't need all that. I mean, it was him and I went to a dinner with me and his wife. His wife is fantastic, with a lovely lady. Um, yeah, man, I just got to know him really on another level, and just had it. And I didn't know his history either. You
Yeah.
know that he wrote so many songs for so many other artists, and how intertwined he was with black music and
Yeah.
R&B, and and of course, it was cool just to know his whole history. I mean, his dad did them TV record, some uh, Facts of Life, and
Yeah.
then sang on them records, and wrote them, and it was like, yeah, man, it was cool to hear them stories, bro.
Now the song you guys got on the radio right now, I couldn't get permission to do that song over again. They would probably say no, no, no. How did you get permission to do that song over again? What was the process? You had to call them. I know they tried. They said just do it.
Nah, Bill with his wife. I cleared that record years ago because I wrote that record like about 10, 15 years ago, and I
Mm.
cleared it then, and she was really cool. And I didn't put the record out, and so I went back to clear it again, and she gave it to me with the same splits.
Wow.
Super cool. She's like, "Nah, I cleared this already." "Hey, yeah, okay, now you're good."
So you've been
And she
you
was super gracious, and it's a testament to who Bill Withers is,
right.
and how beautiful his music is, and didn't have a huge catalog. So Sting and I are big Bill Withers fan. Like, that's one of Sting's favorite artists. And during sound check, Sting and I, we used to play a lot of Bill Withers when we do sound check. And he'd sing and I'd sing, and that's how I even do "Ain't No Sunshine," because that's a song that we used to do
Right.
together on stage during sound check.
You and Sting, like, y'all mesh very well. How did that connection come about? I don't think anybody would ever thought Sting and Shaggy link up.
I don't think I would have thought me and Sting would link up in it anyway. It's surprising to us as it is to everybody else. Sting is the brother I never knew I needed. But he's taught me so much. He's done so much for my confidence. Like, for me to start singing records, and right now I'm doing a musical called The Last Ship. It's going to be at the Metropolitan Opera. From the 9th to the 14th, and Sting pushed me to rewrote the part and say you could do this, and pushed me to do it. You know, I'm starring in a movie. I'm actually starring in a movie now with me, Kevin Costner, Jake Gyllenhaal, Rita Ora, and Sarah Pigeon, called Honeymoon and Harry. I'm leaving tomorrow to finish shooting it in Australia. Um, I couldn't have done those things without Sting pushing me to be like, yo, you're this, you're that, and just really taking me under his wings and be like, yo, this is my guy. This guy is, he sees in me what sometimes I don't see in myself.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, you was on TV about a month ago. They jumped on you about that shirt, Shaggy. I know you must have been tired of what they were saying, but they tried to the Jamaicans tried to jump all over your back about this shirt. And you did that?
You talking
Did
about
you
the
expect?
see-through one?
Yeah, did you expect that kind of conversation from them?
Come on, Buck. You know you want one of them shirts. Stop it. You secretly want one of them shirts,
I don't want. Yeah, yeah, I'm not in Shaggy shape. If I put that shirt on, it might be a little tight on me, Shaggy. It might be,
You
it
know
might
you
be a little
you know
tight
you
on
want
me.
one of them shirts. Stop it.
The flowers, hey, them flowers would look like a damn jungle.
Hey, come on, man. Sometimes they don't give you your flowers, so you got to take your own flowers.
Yeah.
I took
Sometimes you
my
gotta,
flowers that day.
You took them.
Shaggy, sometimes you gotta plant your own flowers.
You got to, yeah, you know what I mean? You got to pick your own flowers, bro. Nah, I thought it was a cool shirt, man. It's fashion, man. No, I ain't
It's
not gonna let
fashion.
yeah, I ain't gonna let nobody sit down and dictate. I mean, what really broke my heart was I had people in my DM really being super nasty people I never met. Like, people were calling me gay and saying that my kids ain't mine,
No,
and start telling me that my wife is a plant, and some other
that's
man
crazy.
is banging her, and this
It
and
got
just
that bad?
yeah, just terrible. And then Spice called me. I got really angry about it, and Spice was like, it's just clickbait. Don't answer it, because the minute you answer it, then that's when it gets viral, and then that's
Right.
how you make money. See, I had no idea because I'm not into social media like that, but she broke it down for me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, all right, that's how it works. Okay, but it
Yeah,
was
you
it
got
was
you gotta have
crazy.
thick skin on social media.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's crazy to think that people really go there with it and really start saying those really
Crazy.
nasty things. And it's just like, maybe when I'm like, man, do I really want to be in this game of social media? Because
It's hard.
it's just, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
It's
There's,
scary.
yeah. And then the things that they would do right now just to get a viral moment, like mine wasn't an organic thing. You know what I'm saying? And I made fun of it. I put the shirt on my dog. I did all kind of,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just made fun of it at that point, because what am I going to do? Argue with somebody? I like the shirt. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I see people do a whole lot of stuff. It work for some people these days is to sit down there and just create a whole bunch of content and put themselves in some weird situation just for clickbaits. And nah, I rather do something
Possibly. Yeah. That's
with,
cool.
yeah, with my talent, and really master my craft.
Shaggy, you got a XM channel that me and Buck be on some holidays.
Yeah, y'all need to
Yeah,
come on there more. What up? You all in Bribe Willie yet?
I know
yeah.
I
I
gotta
mean,
talk
yeah,
to Willie.
we get on
We
the
need some
more.
more time.
Yeah, you need to be on there more. We're trying to promote it more. We're doing this Central Park show. Hopefully we're gonna do a lot more social media on it just to get more people to come over on it. And get it bigger. I think it's a great start. I think having professional DJs on there doing it and helping us make it happen is fantastic, and it's a way just to help push the culture. You know,
Yeah.
and this is where music is right now. I mean, you see now that Sirius is about to buy High Art.
You see
So
that?
yeah, so you know where it's going at this point. I mean, like public television is about to be non-existent. You
You
knew,
gotta pay for everything. You gotta.
Netflix is now going into news. They're going in. You see, they're going into, like, they're doing podcasts. They're doing everything right now. After
You
a
gotta.
while,
Yeah.
people are just gonna have really low subscription, but it's gonna be so much people that Netflix will make a ton of money.
You gotta. Even basketball games, sports. I used to
They're
be
getting
on
into that
regular
now.
TV. Now they're on different platforms.
But in England, television is paid for. That's why there's no advertising on television in England.
I didn't know that. What do you mean? There's no advertising on television?
There's no advertisement when you turn on an English channel and watching BBC One or whatever, or
Right.
BBC, for RTL, or whatever it is. There is no Yeah, there's no commercials because it comes out of your, it's part of your tax. When you get taxes, you paid taxes. Each person paid taxes for like television.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's news to me.
yeah, that's part of how it is. So if
Yeah,
you do a subs,
the thing
so if you do a
is people.
subscribed television here, if you do a subscribed TV here, it's kind of like the same thing because you're not taxed for TV over here,
Right.
right? But it's kind of the same thing. You just paying for it because they pay for it in England. Every citizen is that's part of the taxes that you pay. You know, that's why.
TV.
So yeah, they don't make their revenue from ads.
Man,
Just
I
like
didn't know
how
that.
HBO has no ads because it's subscription.
Right.
You know,
Almost like almost yeah.
Sirius XM don't have ads because it's subscription.
Almost like what YouTube does. YouTube has you can have your you can be a YouTube member, but if you pay for a premium YouTube, they don't break up. They don't interrupt what you're watching.
Because they
You get
don't
that
they
premium
already get
price.
your money, so they don't need to make money.
They don't need. They get that
Yeah,
premium price.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you pay for it. You know what I mean? You just pay. And it's and because it's so much people, you're gonna see a lower fee, but it's more people, so it's just gonna be they're gonna make way more money.
Yeah.
Shaggy, you was in the military, right? You was in the Marines, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You was in what, artillery?
Artillery, yeah. I blew things up.
So my brother, I think he was his name was he was a master sergeant. He was in ammo tech. His
Oh,
name was
so he a lifer.
Sergeant Lester or something.
If
Like,
he a master sergeant, he a lifer. So
I
he
mean,
been
lifer.
yeah. That mean he's been in there
Yeah, he got
15,
back
20
in there.
years.
He re-enlisted a few times. He did like
Yeah, yeah,
twenty
yeah,
six
yeah.
years,
He a lifer. He one of them. He one of
and
them veterans.
he had
Me,
told me that
I was what you call a shitbird, and I go in there. I just do my 4 years and get the hell out. I was
Get
done.
out.
Yeah, I didn't want. I don't want nothing. You know, I wasn't
yeah,
good.
he told me
Didn't do
that
well with authority.
now he told me that you was in there when he was there, that he had came across you. I was like,
Probably.
Shaggy.
Yeah, probably. Probably. I used to be down there. I drove from North Carolina to New York every single week. I was AWOL every weekend just to go do records. I actually voiced Old Carolina and Big Up and them songs in my uniform. I used to drive up in my uniform that when if the state trooper pulled us over, they would give us a break because they were all ex military anyway. They'd be like, okay, slow down, devil dog, rah, 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 and that's it.
And you go into Brooklyn and record and go into the
I
new
go
dance
to
hall.
no, I in a studio in New York and I recorded those songs. And I drive back, so I would come back. So it's 9 hours to 9 hours from every weekend just to make records,
Mm.
and then I'd reach late, and so I came out of PFC one above a private. I didn't get promoted because I did a lot of bad things when I was in there. Them times, I got into the military because I was in Brooklyn selling drugs at the time. So it was a lot of shit. It was Flatbush back in 90s Flatbush. It ain't like this juice bar Flatbush they got now.
Not now.
Yeah, yeah. Back then it was like some rough city that rough times back then.
Shaggy, the new album's out right now, man. Go get that album right now. You dropped this album on the same day that Drake dropped the album. Did you know that was gonna happen? Did you even
I didn't know
care?
that. But it worked out to be good because everybody was on these streaming platforms because of Drake. You know
Right.
what I mean? So they would run into me at the same time. So it kind of worked out in a way.
It worked out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
What
but Drake did dominate the place with that. But a lot of people dropped, I think Ziggy dropped that day. A lot of people dropped.
Yeah.
did you ever say to yourself, you know what? Let me change this date because I already know what's everybody know what's going on with Drake. He got this big hype behind him. Let me
Nah,
change this date.
nah, because my thing has always been slow burn. Yeah, all right, I don't look at, I'm not one to sit down and worry about first week sales or stuff like that. I'm on an independent. I know I don't have that kind of marketing budget to hit the platforms like they and get the visibility. But I also didn't have that when I did Hot Shot. Hot Shot came out, we sold 17,000 records the first week. It was a
Wow.
flop, but we went on to sell 10 million. We got a hit a year afterwards.
Man.
So for me, you look at even Godong Day when we started with those records. then it was no jump out of the box, high streaming. It streamed over time, you know.
Hmm.
I got there's even a record right now with Sizzler called Mad Mad World that wasn't even a single on my Intoxication album, and that's probably Sizzler's highest streaming records. If you have a global fan base and your brand is globally known, you just leave it, do a really good product,
Yeah.
and it will find its audience.
Yeah. Shaggy, congratulations on the album, man. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep touring and putting out music.
Thanks
And
for support me, man. I can tell you what I always say it. I said Buck is an honorary Jamaican.
I swear, yo,
Yeah, yeah, he
me
is.
and Regg always say that.
Shaggy.
I'm a Yankee. I'm a Yankee, Shaggy.
No,
I'm
I
not
mean you're a
Jamaican.
Yankee, but yo, you got Jamaican tendencies. I mean, you keep a job real long.
Hey, Shaggy, on Friday when we do the reggae ride to work, we call him DJ Buck them.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm seriously. You ain't nobody keep a job. I mean, dude, you've been there since the building was made.
Yeah, I've been
And
there since for a long time supporting this thing because I believe in good music. I just like
yeah,
music, man. I'm a music person.
but when
Now,
you started,
I'm gonna ask you something
let me
else.
ask you. When you started, you had hair, right?
Yeah, I had hair. I had it here.
He did.
And
That's
Shaggy,
how
I
long you
actually
been there,
got a
yo.
picture of him with here.
I
You
might
had
have some
hair,
hair in
right?
this. I might have some hair in this drawer right here. You keep talking to me, Shaggy. I might put some,
Put some on right
Put that
now.
wig on.
I'll put some on right
Shaggy.
now.
Now, what would you say? Because people like Buck and other coaches, they would call him a culture vulture because he's outside of the culture, but he does a lot for it.
No,
What would you
so
say to people who would
so
consider Buck a
I have a
culture
different
vulture?
take. I have a different take on that. Jamaican culture or reggae culture, dancehall culture, is the only culture that accepts everybody. The Jamaican motto on the passport and the motto of Jamaica, or a coat of arms, is out of many, one people. That is what our motto is. So you go to Jamaica and you see a white dude and he opens his mouth, it's Jamaica. Chinese Jew, it's Jamaica. You have Jewish Jamaicans. You have Arab Jamaicans. It's just that's out of many one people.
Right.
That's what we are. So the music is kind of the same. Do you realize that the biggest reggae bands, all the reggae bands that have sold over 10 million are all white?
I believe it.
The
Yeah.
Police, the Police was the
Yeah.
first reggae band, white reggae band.
Mm.
Ace of Base, UB40. Even now, the biggest reggae band right now is Revolution,
And they sell the most records.
and they're the biggest reggae band, the biggest touring, biggest records, biggest all of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Remember at a point you had a guy called Naki. He was a Japanese dancehall artist, and he broke it out. And we used to go to Japan and do these massive, massive concerts, right? A guy called Apache Indian that did Boom Shakalak, right? He was an Indian dancehall artist. You had another guy called Dominic used to come to Jamaica, and he was a white English dude, and he used to rip every stage show in Jamaica. We, as Jamaicans in the culture, we accept more people outside because we love it when people take our culture, and help to bring it up. Bob Marley did a lot of that in the early days. Bob Marley's biggest selling single ever, only number one. Bob Marley's only number one record that he's ever had is a song called "I Shot the Sheriff," done by the white guy,
Yeah.
Eric
Wow.
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, come on, dude. I take it. What Buck is doing is what generationally has been done to promote our music, and it's just you loving our culture, and that is what. If you're not putting the culture out there to reach people and let people love it and emulate it and be a part of it, then why are we doing it? I'm
Yeah,
not doing
you're right.
music so just that Jamaicans could hear it. I'm doing it so that the world could come into my culture. Buck was in Kingston. Buck went to Raytown.
Oh
You know,
man.
Buck,
Yeah.
Buck, Buck loved the whole vibe down there. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why you keep coming back and you call yourself because you're part of that culture, and it does a lot for you in your music and in your creativity moving forward. You
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah.
I do the
And,
best
and
I
and
can do,
you
man.
don't have many radio stations that, let alone have one reggae show on it now. We got two on commercial radio like that. Across the country. I don't know probably could count on one hand. And
Yeah, but
have
you also
different.
got we also got to take into consideration that Buck is also smart. You know, he knows that's Connecticut, and that market down there is
Population.
heavy, heavy Caribbean market out there.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think it's actually a bigger market than New York.
Yeah, it was third years ago, but I think I talked to somebody and they said it's more now. It
Yeah,
grew.
It is
it's like
num
Brooklyn, New York, Miami.
it
Miami.
is number one. It is number one. I'm not guessing. I'm telling you. Remember when I tell you, Buck, I was there?
Yeah.
It's the number one market for Caribbean music. People come to New York to see the shows because it's an easy drive. So you might think that New York, oh yeah, yeah. That's why when the dancehall artists do the Barclays or any of that, they don't really come up to Boston or Connecticut because everybody down there come to New York.
Everybody
Yeah.
down and go right to New York.
That's it.
Mm. Hey, Shaggy, thanks for checking in, man. I appreciate it. New album's out right now. Lottery, go get that. A lot of good songs on there, man. I appreciate you checking in.
Thank you, brother.